This is a place for planting, for digging, for harvesting, for relaxing. It's a place to get your hands dirty, but most of all, it's about having fun. And that's what you'll always have when you're in the garden with Doug Oster. You want a green thumb too, don't you? I love this time in the garden, picking tomatoes every day, cucumbers. No pole beans yet though, but they'll come. Don't worry. We've got a lot to do today. We're going to earn our money, but before we do, I want you to see this plant. It's called a butterfly weed, and it's filled with bugs, and that's a good thing because they're pollinators. And this is not only a plant for the monarchs, it's for lots of other good bugs too, and just look at how they're swarming on it. It's easy to grow, it's beautiful, and it serves a purpose helping the pollinators. Now let's get some stuff planted. We've got the perfect day for planting. We've got a cold front on the way, bringing with it, of course, some rain. And we're planting this tree that we looked at last week, 50 bucks at Bednar's. It's basically shutting down right now, but that's okay. It's going to be fine. And when you're planting a tree, we're a little early, usually start in September, but the weather's right for it. I think it's going to do better in the ground. We want to make sure we know how big it's going to get, and this is almost to its height already, 15 feet tops. When we plant, we're going to dig a hole twice as big around as the root ball, and the most important thing is we're not going to plant it too deep. We're only going to plant it right where it was in the pot. First step, dig the hole. Our hole's dug. Now everything that I have planted for these videos have always included compost. We're not doing that with this tree. Back in the day, we used to fill these holes with compost and put the tree in, but experts tell us now that that just causes a big giant pot in the ground. The roots won't go out. So we've got our natural soil here. Now, it's decent, average garden soil, so I'm going to be okay. If you're planting your tree and you start to dig in and it's pure clay, you're either going to have to mix in some better soil or find another spot for the tree. So let's see how we are on depth here. All right. Oh, looking pretty good. I wanted to give this tree a special spot because it is so beautiful. In the spring, these leaves will be bright yellow. In winter, the bark turns orange. Just an amazing tree, and can't believe the deal I got on it. And I think we're right where we should be. And all I'm going to do is put the backfill that I dug out of here in, and we'll move on to our next job, which is showing you a beautiful mistake. Usually the best kind in a garden. Well, here's our happy accident. All this phlox along here should be 6 feet tall, but it's only 3 feet tall because the deer have been pruning it for us. To me, it looks great. It looks better only this high, but we have had our worst year with the deer. While we're filming, we've already seen 2. In the vegetable garden, the rabbit problems continue, and I've got a couple things that I hope are going to solve that problem. Well, can you tell what that is on top of that post? Well, guess what? It's a plastic owl I bought to scare away the rabbits last year, but I never even looked up there this year to see it all covered with weeds. First job, move the owl and put it on another post so it overlooks the garden and scares the rabbit away. Who is in the garden? Scare them away, buddy. Well, remember about 2 weeks ago when we put lettuce in here and we put this fence around it saying, it'll be rabbit proof. I've never had a rabbit that has been so resilient and just dug right under. It's not a groundhog, it's a rabbit. And so I'm going to redo this fence and I'm going to bury the fence and put some beets in here and we'll see how things go. You know, the rabbit came in, ate the first round of lettuce, but hasn't been back in here. I don't get it. But as we said, put some beets in and then we'll change this fence up and hopefully we will win the battle. So I've buried the fence about 8 inches down, kind of bent it outwards. I don't know if it'll be enough, but we'll see. I think this is going to be hard to dig through. We have one more job before we finish up. Well, one thing those darn deer have taught us is what they won't eat. And I've had great luck out here with perennial hibiscus, easy plant to grow, and I love them. I've got a hole dug filled with compost. I'm just going to stick this in it. That's all there is to it, and then we'll finish up. Well, if you like gardening as much as I do, you should join my exclusive garden club called Everybody Gardens. You get 6 issues of my newsletter, a t-shirt, you get to come to my symposium, free packet of seeds that I choose for you. You can find out all about it online. There's lots of stories and videos and blog posts there too. Now, until next week, I'm going back in the vegetable garden and picking stuff for dinner. We'll see you then. Come on, buddy.